Okay, our viewers, we like to say welcome yet to another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. And The Bottom Line is a political program that discusses issues about Liberia and Liberians. And we come your way every Tuesday and Friday. And with me tonight, I have my colleague, Paul Chulukle. Paul and I will be here to give you um, highlights of some of the events that have been unfolding in recent days or recent hours, just as we speak. And so we like to say welcome. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the bottom line again. And make this place your home. Please help us to share the video. You can follow us both on YouTube and Facebook. And so, Paul, let me say good evening to you and welcome.
Well, good evening, Linford. It's good to be here. How are you? How's Norway? And also, I want to say good evening to our listening audience.
Well, I'm doing pretty good, and Norway is fine. It becomes monotonous when we talk about the weather every day, but because we have to live with the weather, though. So, Norway is fine, and we are good. I think at least we're peaceful. So that's the most important thing. And how is your end?
Well, the thing is, it been good. The past few days been the Easter break here. Uh, we'll have holiday on Friday and also holiday on Monday. So we have probably about the longest weekend, and the weather been good. Yesterday was fantastic. I was in t-shirt through all yesterday in the garden. Yeah, and today the weather started and then started dropping against the typical English weather, so it's off and on. Yeah, and here our prime minister, who one of the biggest liar on the planet Earth, uh, during the COVID situation, he made some rules that people could not visit people having party. Police were arresting people, and then the guy had the guts to be having party in 10 Downing Street with his colleagues. So he was found guilty. The police found him penalty. So people are asking for his resignation, and he now going to Parliament to beg for mercy. That with the Ukrainian and Russia war, he playing a key role, so they should forgive him. So this is the UK, and they also now
And I
South
guess I
like
guess I guess
Britain.
you're talking about Boris Johnson, right?
Yeah, Boris Johnson, my prime minister
And
in the
this is a
UK.
guy. This is a guy who pressed Theresa May to the wall until I used to feel sorry for the woman at some point. And where is how is the other opposition guy, the slim one? I just forgot his name.
Oh, Jeremy Corbyn, he's in the background
Jeremy
now. He's no
Corbyn.
longer. Yeah. So, but what
Yeah, but
the funny thing is,
let's not talk about him. I know why he went.
yeah,
Why he's so silent these days. I know exactly.
yeah. So the other aspect is the British government when they signed some contract with Rwanda. So people who coming in as refugees, when you come here, they catch you, they lock you up, and then they fly you to Rwanda. So they pay the Rwandan
So it doesn't
government.
matter where you come from. What if you came from
It
somewhere
doesn't matter
you
long you
wasn't?
come here, you ask for asylum, they'll fly you to Rwanda and you'll be there for 5 years. Then Rwanda government will determine what to do with you. So they pay the Rwanda government uh 150 million pounds. That's the first deal they signed. So
But what do you think is the motive? What's the motive?
but it's
Rwanda is
stopping
not
people from coming to the
unpopulated, though.
UK. That's all, to deter people from coming here. That's the motive. So, and you don't want to go to Rwanda because that was not a preferred place for asylum. So they just doing it to stop people from coming. That's all. So that's
Yeah,
what
but
happened in the UK.
I think Paul Kagame can use that. President Paul Kagame can use that opportunity to receive more immigrants, with different skills and improve. But I think that's something strange. So let's wait and see the outcome and how it's going to play for you, British people.
Well, the thing is that there been a lot of opposition on this, but the government already sealed the deal. So people will talk. The first group will be heading to Rwanda soon. So that's all. that's
You
Yeah.
see, the question I was asking is, so what about white people? Because I mean, we see Europeans going to the UK, some coming even
No,
coming
they will
here
not take
to
the
seek
Ukrainian
asylum.
and take them
So
there. They will take those Africans and those Iranian. If you come from Nepal and other places, you tend to come to the UK here. They just pick you and take you to Rwanda.
yeah, but the UK, the United Kingdom or England as or the whole kingdom is noted for transporting people other places.
Hmm.
Have you followed the story about Australia? You know how Australia
That's the
actually
same
became that
thing,
way?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it's going to play off for African country because at least for Australia it turned out to be well. But let's see how it's going to play in for our African brothers in Rwanda. But let's just look at a few of the things we'll be talking about tonight, if time permits us. Uh, the UP and the AFP have suffered yet another setback as the NEC denies their request for copy of subpoena document that was served against Mr. Cummings. It's like okay, we'll go into that, but that's the first topic we'll be talking about. And then the second one will be the same UP again. Their stand-up bearer, former Vice President Joseph Nima Boakai, was supposed to appear in court today as one of the state witnesses and to testify, but as it stands, he didn't go. And so um, um, the case will continue to go. In fact, as a matter of fact, they are saying that they subpoena 17 witnesses to appear today, but all of them did not turn up, including Joseph Nima Boakai. And the third thing we'll be talking about here is the government of Liberia. Uh, they hire pathologists to examine the body of the late Princess Cooper, and they say she died of tuberculosis. But probably we are not medical experts, but we'll just be brainstorming and see how that actually sounds. But again, like we said, you welcome to the program, The Bottom Line. My name is Linford Goer, and Paul Chilebe is there in the UK. And our colleague Jamal is busy, very busy. He's not with us physically now, but he's in the background. And if you have the opportunity, Paul, tell us a little bit about this partner line online radio. I understand Jamal is supposed to be streaming live on that platform right now. Is it working?
Yeah, the bottom line online radio is 24/7, and
Mm-hmm.
whenever we come on, this is actually live on our screen on that radio station, and we have a program that are run 24 hours. So we encourage people to join the bottom line online. So it's just that the bottom line, the same event. We must share the link with the people for our audience to follow. It's 24/7, and it's been operating now over a month. I have a
Mm-hmm.
show on that every Wednesday evening from 8 o'clock to 10, 2 hours program. So Jema also have a slot, and we're encouraging people to listen to it. And some Wednesday I play the oldie but goodies, take people back. So I call it the Natasha, Nat, call it some name I gave it. Where Martin Brown used to talk about oldie but goodies. So
And
Natasha's life.
I love all music, man.
Yeah. So it's exciting time. And then sometime I dive into other issue. For example, like the misbehavior of my Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who lies every day. And I know people will say the people who love him, he get a lot of followers that love his foolish behavior, but I just can't stand him. So yeah, sometimes I dive into his topic. Yeah. So the bottom line radio station 24/7.
Yeah, and so are you saying that if people cannot follow us right now, people who maybe live in places where they can get internet to follow us directly, they can listen to the radio? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so if you are working, for example, you're able to log onto Facebook or YouTube, you can have your earpiece and listen to on the bottom line radio station. So, and there's interesting music over there, African music, Liberian music. The latest is 24/7. And we also propagate the message from Mr. Cummings and other what he intends to do for the country is all there. So we'll ask people to follow the bottom line. Yeah. So it'd be good for you to listen to it sometime too.
Okay. Yeah, folks. So there you have it, and you can follow us on that online radio. It's very cheap, very economical. You can just have your earpiece in your ear and you're listening and you're doing your work and whatever. But Paul, let's look at today's activity at the court. As we know, at the Monrovia City Court, this case is against Mr. Cummings and it's been like almost 3-4 months going, and there is no tangible, outcome of this court. The case continues to drag on and on and on, and there seems to be no end. Now, the prosecution uh, has subpoenaed about 20 people, according to them, all from the ALP and the United Party. And among those people, supposed to be Mo Ali, um, Mr. Joseph M. Boakai, the standard bearer of the Unity Party, and other prominent members of the Unity Party and the ALP. They're supposed to be altogether about 20 of them supposed to appear as witnesses to help the state prosecution in this case. But here we are. Today, the case was convened. Mr. Cummings was present, all of his lawyers, and the team of lawyers also from the ALP side and the Unity Party and the ALP side were present. But the witnesses that were supposed to come, they did not show up. And so automatically nothing could happen. So what do you think? What do you think is playing down here?
Linford, if you can recall, I think few when the case started, and I said there's nothing in the case. Is you have the government and you have Unity Party, you have the ALP, All Liberian Party, and DeLong and Senator Lawrence. They are in bed with the government to stop one person from participating in the coming general election. There's nothing in this case. If you follow it keenly, Benana Ure, who took Mr. Cummings to court, instead of, if you say the party have an issue, you carry the entire party to court. Mr. Cummings does not own ANC. ANC is an institution that is run by, you get chairman, you get a secretary general. The political leader of the party does not carry out administrative work to start with. So if you took the political leader to court for administrative business, that alone speaks volume. There was nothing in the case because the government afraid to contest against Mr. Cummings. Unity Party, Omer Boakai, do not want contest with Mr. Cummings. Benana Ure hit the ground Mr. Cummings walk on. They only want to be vice president, led also to this factor. So follow, why is it that the one who took Mr. Cummings to court cannot be the prime government witness? Why are they going around? The names they call, the 17 other witnesses they call today, it tells you completely that the people involved in the whole conspiracy, that's the people they're calling. So the government, the Unity Party, the ALP, Yomley and Dillon, and the rest of them are in bed with the government. That's how I see it. And that is the truth. Nothing else but it's the truth. It won't take you to be a rocket scientist to work this out. What you ever heard that in any country that collaboration come together the other collaboration party go and join the government to prosecute the opposition. Only in Liberia. So, and I was strongly say to the ANC camp in Liberia, they should speak the same language the Unity Party spoke the last time, because that's the sort of message that people like to hear in Liberia. And they should sit there and say, "Oh, be Mr. Gentleman." They're gonna go nowhere with this. That's how I see it.
Okay, okay. At the court today, Mr. Cummings was present, and right after the session was ended, he came outside and he spoke to the press.
If we can't hear, you gotta bring it closer to the PC.
Okay, the audio is very bad, but Mr. Kumi is saying that the intent of this whole case is to delay, delay, and delay. Okay, but the reason why we try to play this audio is for you, the viewers, to listen. The purpose of this case, like Paul said, this case has no essence. There is nothing in this case. But why I say dragging on, okay? But I mean, no matter how bad the audio is, at least you heard Mr. Cummings himself confirming. And I will also try to play another audio by Serena Sifo to confirm what because Mr. Cummings, if Mr. Cummings say it, and let Mr. Cummings say it now, that the case is intended to delay and delay. Councillor Sillah also said the same thing, but people will say, oh, because it's ANC people, or the ANC people are crying foul. But I will let you, the viewers, to listen to Serena Sifo on the same tape himself confessing that this case will go a long way. That's the reason why they're bringing in so many witnesses. So they want the case to drag and drag until 2023. So you just heard Mr. Cummings. And Paul, do you think Mr. Cummings is right when he says that? I mean, we'll hear from Serena Sifos too, but do you think he's right when he says that the case is delaying? I mean, government just intend to delay the case, and he's warning, or he's asking the judicial system to see how the government is treating the case.
He is right, because the thing is, he went to court, they charged him for miscellaneous, right, and it's fraudulent and all that. They said they had evidence against him. Since January, you get evidence against somebody, you can't produce the evidence. You ask the man to produce evidence against himself. That did not work out. Now, he decided you subpoena the former vice president. Now, you gone back, the vice president meant to appear today. You gone back, you say, oh, you subpoena an additional 17 person. So if you had all of this evidence from day one, why you can't produce it and why you keep delaying this guy? So the intent of the government to stop this man from running, that also the government in bed with the Unity Party and the ALP. And that's why the case is dragging on. Why are they afraid of him?
Okay, okay, Paul. Let's just confirm what we are saying, that this case will be delayed. Viewers again, maybe we sorry that the quality of the audio might be very low, but not low, but very noisy, because this thing happened. Like Paul said, I think the ANC people need to start speaking the language of the ANC. I mean, of the Unity Party. Okay, where they should also show that they are mad, because I mean, when the thing happened, it was a lot of supporters of the ANC on the ground, and you could hear them shouting in the background. That's why the audio is so a little bit distorted. But let's listen as we hear from the Solicitor General himself, or why he thinks they are delaying this case. Did you hear that? The journalist asked him, "You had 17 witnesses today," and he said, "Yes, and I intend to bring another 17, so it will be a total of 34, plus the three officials of the parties. So it's going to be 34, 37 witnesses." And he said this case will go a long way. So that's the true and full intent of bringing in all of these witnesses. Because imagine if those witnesses, if each of them would take 1 day to testify, okay, 34 witnesses, that's all a month. And of course, it's not daily. So subtract the days that the court will not convene, subtract weekends. And so we're talking about a span of 3-4 months. And
What,
so now the
3-4
court will take
months?
recess and all this kind of thing. So now it's confirmed because it has been speculated. People have been thinking, people from the ANC camp have been thinking, oh, what is the intent of this case? Is it to delay Mr. Cummings? So it's just been speculation. Now it's been confirmed by the Solicitor General himself that the whole intent of the case is to make it law, so that Mr. Cummings will not participate.
Linford, this show that there's no law and order in Liberia. We have the Bar Association, lawyers, advocates, civil society, and everybody sitting down, no one speaking out. What is happening here? I will say this again. I think I'm old enough to say this. History will repeat itself in Liberia. And Liberians need to be mindful and take this seriously. What do I mean? In the 80s, 1985, we saw what happened during the election. Some people did not take seat. We know what happened. Few years later, there was trouble in Liberia. If you deny somebody that have over hundreds of thousands of followers, and you tend to play on their people, this can cause a serious problem in our country. We have all of these people in Liberia sitting down, not looking at it, and they think it's play. So I'm saying maybe to cut this case short, Mr. Cummings will now take the same hard Omer Boakai told a few days ago. He have to do it because it's nonsense. You dragging someone to court, you say you get evidence from day one that the case are going to last for only 2 weeks, you're going to jail this man. And we're going to a year now, the thing can finish. So if you have evidence on a tiny little case like that, then why bringing over 48 witnesses on one simple thing that you can't produce evidence, and you asking him to produce evidence against himself? So what become of people like Teron Gonglo, who is a lawyer, who's an advocate, who intend to run? Why he's silent as well? What happened to the Bar Association? They can't call their lawyers to question what is going on. Is that the kind of law they practice in Liberia? This have a serious consequence when this thing go wrong. and Liberia should take it very seriously.
And you said it rightly, Paul. It becomes a little bit confusing when the very unity party that fielded candidate in the past by-election and their candidate won clean, freely, no protest from the opposite from the government side. Nobody protested that election with Bernie Samoka. He won. He was supposed to take his seat. The technical government that is now siding with the Unity Party, or that the Unity Party is siding with to prosecute Mr. Cummings, were denied. Their candidate was denied. And they are again trying to field another candidate that they are not even sure will win. Okay? But then they go they go in bed with the government that denied them the opportunity for the candidate that won already to take seat. The last time we had a program, I cited an example. Like, the woman gave birth, you and the woman, the husband and the woman, they give birth. Then somebody come and take their child by force and say, the child not for you carry it. Then you say, okay, you're carrying, but we'll born new one again. Then you start looking for a new one to born again. And the same person that took your child is still there. Okay? In fact, you go join the person and say, yeah, thank you for taking our child, but we're coming upon new one again, come be with us. So that's what they're doing. But let's look at the implication. What if, let's just be hypothetical here, what if the government insists that they will delay Mr. Cummings all the way to the end of the elections? Do you think it will have any impact on the electoral process itself? I mean, just looking at it from the surface.
Look, you cannot deny somebody from running in Liberia. I can, as my age, I have the requirement to put my name forward to run to contest the presidency. Nobody can deny another Liberian. That's to start with, he will be on the ballot. But the fact is, you're trying to stop him from campaigning. That's the agenda number one. So you cannot stand him. You don't want to go into contest with him, so you want to delay him. That's the intent. Let's get him go through all. There's nothing in this case, and yet just suffer him to blow his chances. But then, yesterday, last week, Omer Boakai spoke that if his candidate does not take part, there'll be serious problem in the country. He said it. Nobody questioned him. So is that sort of language people like to hear in Liberia? That's why Mr. Cummings, if this guy want to drag you to, you start speaking the language of Mr. Boakai. Because maybe that's the sort of language they will hear. Because there's nothing in this case.
Let me hold you right there, Paul. Let me hold you right there, Paul. We say in Liberia that sheep and good luck not the same. And the reason I'm giving that parable is that Mr. Boakai, I mean, seemingly his party is in bed with the ruling party. That is, the both of them are against Mr. Cummings, that is seen as the strongest opponent. Okay, so if Mr. Cummings, if Mr. Boakai makes that statement, the government will see, or the first thing, two things the government will look at. One, the woman who talking, we got him in our pocket already because we're working with him to prosecute the man he's afraid of. That's the first thing. The second thing is the ruling government, the CDC government, still feels strongly that they have the might to defeat the United Party in any election at any time, for the CPP or whatever, or any collaboration. One-on-one, CDC believes that it can still defeat Boakai, Unity Party. So they wouldn't take his threat as seriously as they would take that of Mr. Cummings. So the point I'm making is that what do you think if Mr. Cummings makes such a threat? What do you think will be the outcome for him?
Lifa, they said now only one woman can born a crazy child. And I'll put it that way. When in every family, you get crazy people. Saying you crazy, I must say crazy. And that what happened. Let's try each other. Because that's what I mean. One woman can born crazy child, right? This is power past power. You may be sitting down, you know you're doing it wrong. I can be sitting down, I have equal strength to you, not because you're taller than me, you be conking my head every time. You're taking disadvantage of me. So when I fed up with you conking my head, when I react to you, it will be bad on you. That's what it means. One woman cannot born crazy child. There's nothing in this case for it to drag on. What is the intent? We all now know the intent, that to drag this man into the mud. If you don't have a case against him, drop it. Last week, there was a human right abuse on the government. The report came up. This government just cannot learn. So the only thing the government knows, that's the language Omer Barker spoke. Probably that language, because you can't be knocking somebody, playing on someone emotional. Oh, because this person is quiet, he's a gentleman, I play on him. But do you know everybody have that craziness in there too? You see, when I say this government remind me of the Samuel Doe government, and I'll take it back. Serena Sifa is Jigging Scar of the 80s. That's the bottom line of this thing here. You gotta look at they dealing with crazy people. So people in the ANC now will have to study there and take on them too. You cannot, they're not abiding by laws. What kind of law in Liberia that in the world to say? You told me to code they say produce evidence against, I should produce evidence against myself. You were talking to code, you get evidence, and then the government feeding into it. It does not make sense. I don't
And
know,
so,
but it does not make sense.
but again, let me come back to that parable again. That goat and sheep look are not the same because let me tell you one thing.
My
People
man, no, like in Liberia,
people will look for
no, no,
chances.
no, don't be that diplomatic question there. In Liberia, just
Mm.
recently, we just came from a bloody civil war. Everybody in our country understand what it is. Everybody is rebel in our country. If one person is speaking a rebel language, or you say that no, you speak the same language too. We all understand one common language because there's no law and order. What on earth you take somebody to court, you don't have case against the person, you won't drag this person. Then the other man now threatening the country, you say nothing. So let me threaten the country too, then you say nothing, then it become issue because maybe that's what the government will understand. When you threaten, then it back down. So everybody in our place went through it. Nobody afraid of anything. So maybe being a gentleman, it won't work for him. But if you start speaking a language, then the government, because what happened, West Africa, there was issue there. You get Liberian, Nigerian, Ghanaians, everybody got killed. If some serious noise come out now, West Africa aircraft will say, "Wall a minute, this gone far." Because people won't talk until trouble start. So if you start speaking that language that will make them back down, they will back down. I mean, a clear-cut day-lab thing that they plan to do. You can be gentlemen in this, like they're telling you that will bring you 17 witnesses, after will bring another 17. What does that mean? You done nothing, absolutely nothing. That's why I say if somebody keep conking your head, one day you'll react. And this is the situation we're in Liberia. This guy get followers, no doubt about it. So do they want him to say, okay, I urge my followers? If that was in Nigeria and other places, you think the case will go on? No. That's what the government need to drop the case. Simple. You said the man cannot win. So why now you dragging him to court? He does not have the number. You still dragging him to court. For what reason? I mean, let be honest
Well,
here.
uh, um, we I'm trying to bring on Antrick. Antrick has been waiting for a while, but it seems not to be working. I don't know what's going on. As for Jemai is not coming on. He's in the bike or doing something because he's busy. I'm trying to bring in Antrick. It's not working. So I don't know. But Antrick, if you hear me, it's not intentional from my side. I'll try to bring you on. It's not working. Probably you log off and come on back on again, and let's see. But let's move on, Paul. the second topic, where the VP stay away. I mean, both topics are related to where he was supposed to appear today in court, and it's been publicized since last week. People have been talking about the VP appearing in court to testify because everybody is like, oh yes, now the big fish is coming to testify against Mr. Cummings. Now Mr. Cummings is going to be found guilty right away. Because I was somewhere where people were discussing on Facebook. Oh yes, at least the other witnesses they brought was small, but the VP, I mean, the stand-up bearer is coming, and that will be it. But then all of a sudden, as usual, this VP will always boycott activities. He was supposed to take over the CPP. He delayed and even tried to dodge the responsibility until they had to literally force him, so to speak. Secondly, he was supposed to go to declare their resignation from the CPP, and he sent a proxy. He didn't actually go himself. He did send a proxy. Okay, and here again, he was supposed to go and testify against Mr. Cummings today. He did not appear. So, two things, Paul, I will ask you. You can also ask me. I shouldn't be the one only asking you all the time. You can also ask me if you think there are other points I need to throw light on. But here are two things I want you to discuss. Is his boycotting of the court today, is it intentional, or is it because he doesn't want to go at all, or is it that there is something that he doesn't want to go to say? Something's wrong. I want you to help me out here.
Linfa, how can I help you out? When people in bed with the government, this is what they do. The old man, Andre, I think the light behind you is so bright, though.
Andre, I think the light behind you is distorting your image.
If you look at this, that's what I say. Because they're all in bed, it was planned how the whole case was going to go. We'll bring this person in, we'll bring that one in, we'll bring this one in. Now, the United Party realized that if this old man, they cross-examine him. Remember, he also running to be president. Serena Sifa is no friend to him. The government is no friend to him. They got their set tango in a mess. If he show up for as a witness, the government will go after him to the highest. Then you get it. The Cummings lawyer too. They would not relent to cross-examine him to the higher degree, and you'll be on an oath. The guys know there's no case here. Because he knows there's no case, he doesn't want to put himself in a situation that he cannot handle because he want to contest. So he did the right thing by backing up. And the government, Serena Sifa realized that, so he withdrew that subpoena.
Yeah, you see? That's why he withdrew the subpoena.
He withdrew the subpoena, and then said, I'll bring the Secretary General in.
The question here is, what if the other 17 witnesses, or the 34, because he intends to bring additional 17, but let's start with the first 17. What if the 17 of them, it's not possible that all of them can withdraw or withhold themselves from coming? But what if majority of them will come? Or what if the group that he's bringing, what if they all have different opinions? Some give different testimonies, and that will be contrary to what the others would say. I mean, we just brainstorm here. Do you see the whole case collapsing? Because that's the point where I'm
they don't want the case to collapse. So when you have the first 17, and then nothing, they can't produce evidence. I'm going to bring additional 20. It's all delayed tactic. All right, Linfa, let me put this question to you. You took me to court. that he
Mm-hmm.
said to the court, I went to visit you and I
Mm-hmm.
stole your shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
You took me to
Mm-hmm.
court for stealing your shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which color of your shirt? You cannot tell the court, but they know the man stole my shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Is that short sleeve, long sleeve shirt? No, he stole my shirt. Then the court turn around and say, oh, Paul, we want you to produce that shirt that Linford said you stole. I have not taken anything from Linford. How can I produce it? Then the court said, all right, Linford is friendly with Jemai and Andre. We'll go bring it to testify that you stole. Then he brought Jamal, they can't get it. They say, okay, we'll go look for Jamal other friends for them to say. So how on earth you expect the case to finish? I mean,
Okay.
there's no.
Let's say welcome to Antrik. Antrik has been away for a while, and I don't know whether since she's been away for a while, the light is protesting against her. But Antrik, we hope you can work on your lighting because
I don't
you
really
like
know what happened. No,
Yes, it's
yeah,
I
kind
you
of
think
look
bright.
like
you
you
But
you
you
it's
need
all
wait
right.
to
We
you
can
you
to
see
need
you
to
in
do
the
the
shadow.
adjustment link for.
at
No,
least we
it's,
can see your image. But
we can
Antrik,
see your
welcome,
shadow.
and
So
we say thanks
I know.
for trying to make it. You've been
The
very
UP
busy,
people
and
don't want me to come
been
out
trying
and
to hold
talk.
on here. Yeah.
The
So
UP people they don't want
I
me
don't
to
know where you
come
want to
out
before
and
just
talk.
before entry comes in. Or we are streaming on the online radio, like Paul told you earlier on, simultaneously while we are here on Facebook and YouTube. We also streaming online, and that online radio is accessible anywhere. You can just download it on your phone, and then you got it in your pocket with your headphone in your ear, and you're
Yeah,
moving. So, um, uh, we are streaming now. So our viewers, you can uh, follow us on the link. The link is here, but I'm not too sure if I can show it. But it's here. But you can find us on the bottom line Liberia Radio. So, Andre,
yeah.
welcome. And this is the
Thanks
situation we
very
are
much.
faced with. Mr. Cummings' case is still in the court. The witnesses are dragging their feet. Some of them refuse to appear. Do you think the case should be thrown out for the fact that the witnesses are even running away?
But Linford, I think if you can still go back to some of my contribution with regards to this court issue, from the very
Mm-hmm.
first day that the so-called Solicitor General came on the Spoon TV and start to render a direct judgment into the case without even going into the issue, I
Mm-hmm.
immediately said that the case should be dismissed and this man should be held reliable for his own professionalism. And yeah, I don't know why it's said that the ANC is allowing some unsophisticated, uneducated fools to carry out a conspiracy theory against them, and they just sit down and fold their hands and watch it go by day in and day out. An innocent man is being accused and humiliated and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's all in the hands of ANC and the ANC party, because what is going on right now is a clear and obvious sign of conspiracy, and it's never going to stop until these ignorant fools have their aims accomplished. So ANC have to decide what they want to do. Stop being cowards and stand up for your right. You know you never did it, you never did anything. This is a conspiracy. Stand up and use your voice. I'm not talking about violence because violence had never helped Liberia and will never help us. We have learned from our past mistakes, and we must always know that violence is never the answer. Use your voice and speak out and let the international community know that this is what is happening. That we are government. is trying to bring trouble, is trying to cause trouble in the country, because by going after an opposition leader who has more followers, he has his own people going after him directly, witch hunting him in order to stop him from participating in a general election that is going to take place next year, as early as next year. You have to send the message out, because the international partners have spent enough, too much. They have invested too much in Liberia. They have fought hard to make sure that the peace that the Liberian people are enjoying today will continue, even though under these terrible circumstances, that the inabilities of the government of providing securities and other basic necessity for the citizen, but they are still, you see them, they are always speaking against it, because they know what they have invested in that country. They know the time, the money, the effort, and everything to make sure that Liberia finally have peace, and the people of Liberia finally be able to live and earn their own things. So Mr. Cummings and the ANC need to come out, need to use their voice. It is time that they start to call on the international partners directly, send out a message, send out letters to all of these people. They know what is happening, but they cannot interfere unless you, who is affected, will call upon them and say, this is what is going on. And you people are seeing what is going on. This has a propensity of bringing serious destabilization in the country. This is what the ANC need to, not to be on Facebook and be talking blah, 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 blah. You have to learn how to use the power of the pen and the paper. That's what I know. I am a child of a teacher. My mother was a teacher and she taught me a lot, a historian for that matter. She taught me how to use the pen and the book. She taught me how to use my pen and my paper very well. So I know how to express myself. I know how to write. I know how to comprehend when someone does something to me. I don't know what it is to do about violence or this, but I know how to use my pen and use my voice to tell the world that this is what happened and it is unacceptable and I'm not going to accept it and this is what I want. That is what we want from Mr. Cummings. If he will be the leader of tomorrow, if he will be the president come 2023, he have to stand up and have some balls and stand up for the people of Liberia. We are looking at him, but we want him to show us that, yes, indeed, he is ready to lead. And these are some of the people who he
Okay.
must stand against in order to be a president.
Let me
Okay.
buttress to what Actress said before he come in, Linford. Email
Right.
everyone said he have to speak the language. They may get hundreds and thousands of followers. Speak directly to his followers. You can be quiet in this situation. He need to speak to his followers. This is the situation I face with. Leave away your followers. You can be quiet in the situation. And now we know the intent. So when the intent is there, this is where you step up and say, wait a minute, this is your intention. And you call your follower, this is what they intend to do.
Yes.
You speak a language that they will understand.
They cannot.
We are
is blood. Yeah, we are is blood tested,
okay,
but he cannot kill. He cannot kill everyone.
Let me speak for Mr. Cummings. Let me speak for Mr. Cummings more. You know, I tend to understand where Mr. Cummings, his slow pace is coming from. Now, here's a man who did not do anything. Okay? Here's a man who has not done anything, but all the people, the government, his own opposition group, they are conglomerated against him to try to bring him down. So the yellow over the slightest point. I told you earlier on, Paul, that Joe Boakai can even take RPG and fire him on Broad Street. We will not go after him. Okay? Because they know that they can win him anytime. But if Mr. Cummings was walking and razor blade draft from a pocket, he said, oh, they make me walk with army in a pocket, weapon in a pocket. You see it? So he's been, I think, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm saying that I think he's being silent. And you see, in every situation, sometimes God can expose people because we are Christian, we always we bring God in everything, we blame God for everything. When bad thing happens, we say, hey God, good thing happens, we say that God. So probably God have been waiting for long because if Mr. Cummings have told his followers, get up, press forward, do this, do that. People will say, oh, but the man got no cause to do this thing. He's in court. Why he can't wait for a court case to finish? But because he has been slow, here is what happening today. Today, as we speak, you listen to the video or the audio, the voice of the Solicitor General of Liberia, Chief Prosecutor. What did he say? He said they intend to make this case a long case. So now Mr. Cummings can come out and speak to his people. But he had done that before this video came up. People will say, oh, but the man got no reason. When he get jumbo, he call it all his supporters, So Mr. Cummings is, slow pace. I think for some reason, play out.
Therefore,
What do you think?
Support Mr. Cummings. I support him. You see, in life, when you're too diplomatic, people take advantage over you. The other side to everybody. He get his strength and you have a weakness. You in a situation whereby this is not about you are dealing with people that don't even abide by their own rule. Look, I gave you an example. They were playing Mr. Gentleman. What happened to Kamina Janet? And he was removed. They were playing Mr. Gentleman. What happened to Bernie Samoka? And he didn't get his seat. You play Mr. Gentleman, it will haunt you. That's the point I'm making here. They think that they don't want to hear.
But not in all cases. Yeah, not
really?
in all cases where you come out.
It happened twice. It happened twice in just recent
the Bernie Samoka thing. What happened? The people brought all the country devil out. What happened to them?
No. Forget about the country devil. The people used the law to deny him. The same law they used to remove the sitting associate justice. There was nothing in it, they removed him. The same law they using to take him to court. It was not 3 years ago, not 5 years, it's just a few days. They using the same law. So if you sit there, say, oh, I will abide by the law that they used to move Kamina Janet, to make Burma Samuka now to get his paper, they're using the same law again. So this is not time to say that, and that's what I say, and after I said it right. It's time now that you use your influence that you have. It's not time to say, okay, I will go back. You're getting frustrated. You use the influence you have. ECOWAS is there. Because when I'm saying ECOWAS is there, you also have the biggest donors are there. Everybody handful and washing. You take the stand now. That's the what Liberians I said. You take your stand. It's not me calling for violence.
So if we, you, me, and everybody else on this platform is to recommend, I will start with myself, but usually in parliamentary procedure, you don't start with yourself. So that's why I will ask you first. What would you recommend that Mr. Cummings does at this moment?
So what I would do if I were in Mr. Cummings' shoe, every day that they take me to court, after that court, I will call a press conference and speak to the nation and force the government by speaking to the nation on what they took you to court for, and also nail the government on the negative thing that they're doing. But you can't be silent and say, I'm going to court tomorrow. So you go for them, every mistake that they made, and you also open the eyes of Liberians that there's nothing in the case. If they had case, long time I should be in jail. You need to speak to the country every day. That's what he need to do. You can't be silent in this. He have the voice. He have the people. This is where you.
Like I said, I will also have my own recommendation. But let me bring in Andre. Andre, today, let's say if you are sitting face to face with Mr. Cummings, what will you tell him to do? I mean, be moderate, to not, be moderate. Sorry, but
But I've already said
Exactly.
what I want to say. I don't know how to sugarcoat things. I am a straightforward woman, and I tell you what it is. In every situation, the solution. You
mhm,
must communicate. Use your pen and your paper. Write a communication to the international and partners. Go to them, make an appointment, sit with the ambassador of America. America is our founding father. They are the ones that control our country, whether Liberians like it or not, because we look up to them for everything. We are not strong on our own right now. America do everything for Liberia. So he must have a meeting with the ambassador, yeah, in America, the EU representative, and all of these international partners. Call them, because tomorrow when something happens, these are the people that will say, oh, you were wrong, or you shouldn't have done this, you should have done this, and so and so. They are watching, they are seeing, but they cannot interfere until you call them in, until you tell them your problem. They are diplomat. They are not there to interfere directly into your problem when you haven't called them or tell them what is going on. They are just sitting and watching. They are waiting for you. They know that what is going on is wrong. It is against the right of Mr. Cummings, because he is a political leader of a party, a major opposition party. And the government have no right of interfering in the opposition domestic affair. That is their affair. They should handle their issue by themselves, and not a solicitor general or the minister of justice interfering. So this is wrong. From the initial stage, the action that Mr. Cummings should have taken was to take a formal complaint against the government of Liberia for interfering. And by now, they could have been out of this matter. And let's see how Benin Ayue and the so-called Unity Party can go on with their conspiracy. But Mr. Comey
okay.
just sitting there and allowing people to take advantage of him. How can you
Precisely.
sit there? How can you
No.
lead Liberia? How can you tell the Liberian people that you are men enough to protect our country tomorrow, to stand up for our people tomorrow, that another outside force or an opposition, when you become a ruling position, will not take advantage of your leniency or weakness. I can see that this is Mr. Cummings' weakness. The last time I said to him, Mr. Cummings, you have to be strong. If you want to be the president of the Republic of Liberia, you have to be strong, because there are people out there who are used to suppressing our people, who have kept our people in the shackle of poverty, and they want this system to continue from one generation to another. So if you are coming to change the system, you must be ready to fight. Fight for the people of Liberia. Fight for them. And we will join
Okay,
you in that fight.
okay. I think I'm the kind of person who, I'm not a soft person, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
a slow person to act. And when
Yeah.
I act
Mm-hmm.
decisively. I don't withdraw my decisions. So
Yeah.
such person is me, and I can see myself in Mr. Cummings. I always say, my friends that know me, they always, I got cold glove sensation. When I get mad, Paul, if you're around me, I get mad, go away. I don't know whether you're my friend or not, go away until
Mm.
say will calm down. But I say this to say that Mr. Cummings has been very quiet, and people like that, when they say yes, that's it. When they say no, that's it. When they take decision, they take it. I
Yeah.
have a comment here. Before I bring that comment, let me just tell the viewers that the link that you see there, of course, you cannot add a video here, but I just put it there so that you will see it. If you follow this link, you'll be able to listen to the online radio, which is cheap, economical, free of charge, and everything else. And you can listen to it 24 hours. Like Paul said, there are various different programs on it. Paul is on our online radio. He brings in different programs as well. And while we are on now, you can listen to us there. So we are streaming via three apps, three different apps now: Facebook, YouTube, and this online. And let me bring in this particular comment. There's a comment here. Let me move this one first. Okay, and let me bring in this comment. It says here, he will be speaking in a day or two. Do not worry, it's coming. It's coming heavily.
Look,
So,
I've been hearing that story from JJ Ralton. I mean,
and so you don't believe it anymore?
He will speak, but I think it's complete waste of time. I mean,
Oh.
somebody can be dragging me in the mud over and over. We've been hearing the thing, he'll be speaking,
Or,
and that's
there's a time for everything. There's a time for everything.
Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
I heard that story. You're going to speak when the late princess were killed.
Mm-hmm.
How many weeks now? Today, again, the people taking advantage of you. This government, they don't let Mr. Cool. And that's the bottom line. I support Mr. Cummings, but where Andre said he's showing some sort of, you don't need to show weakness in this. Every week, he's supposed to speak to the nation. Every week, to speak to that nation. This is what's happening. And not only speaking about a court case, and if the people in this government, the wrongs that they're doing, even the opposition, he need to go after them. They're going after him. They're putting knife in his back. And every day, he will speak. Don't worry. We bought all into that. This is about time to take decisive action. You can't let people be dragging you because of your kindness. He should show that other side of him. And that's what we're saying.
Let me come in right here. You see, I'll always be the wedge in between. Let me come here. You see, Mr. Cummings, the international community knows everything that is going on. Have you read the report, the human rights report that came out a few days? They mentioned how the government is clamping down opposition. Okay, so Lithinia is not heading. So even if Mr. Cummings will go on the air and talk every day, okay, you talk about the Princess Cooper thing. Yes, we agree. How many people went and demonstrated? This particular government is dealing with. These are people that do not have feeling. These people,
you validate the point I'm making. The mother was jailed.
Yes.
You validate the point. So now I'm opposition to you. I live in the UK. The least mistake the prime minister made here, the opponent pound on it. You cannot wait tomorrow because every day something coming up. That's what I'm saying. Like this now, he should go after them every blessing day. The least mistake they made because they are after him.
Paul, I think let me help Mr. Cummings here, and I want everyone to share this video. If you are just coming on, please share the video right now. Share the video, and try to get more people to get involved in this video and send a message across to Mr. Cummings. Do you know what you need to do now? If you don't know what to do, I ask you now to set an appointment with the U.S. ambassador, the EU head of delegation, the ambassador of France, the ambassador of Sweden, and all of these United Nations representative, ECOWAS representative, and all of these people. Have a conference with them and do all of your statements like a press briefing. Have a discussion, closed door discussion, and let them call this man who call himself president, doctor, nonsense. And let them put some sense in his head. It is time that you take an action. It's not time to call press conference and be talking again anymore. We have gone beyond that, Mr. Cummings. We have gone beyond press conference right now because it is clear every day you see Serena Cephas. Get all your proof together. The recordings of Serena Cephas when he appeared on Spoon TV, when he has been interviewed at the court. Put all of this together and put all of your explanation with regards to the issue that have been unfolding. Call a conference the US Embassy, the representative of the EU delegation, Sweden ambassador, France ambassador, United Nations representative, the Human Rights Watch in Liberia International, their representative, ECOWAS, AU, and all of these people call them and have a, conference with them without any journalist or anyone and tell them what is going on right now and what is at stake. Their effort and their time that they have put in Liberia is at stake if they do not call George Weah to order, because you have your partisan. You have people who are loyal to you more than how many thousand people, and they are dissatisfied with what the government is doing. They want to take an action, but they cannot take an action because you are a peaceful person. Let Weah, if Weah say he have the power, he have the numbers. If the Unity Party, the ALP, and blah blah blah, they say they have the power, they have the numbers. Let them meet you at the ballot box, but not try to use a conspiracy theory to try to keep you out of the race. It's not going to happen. You have to call the people now, make an appointment and call these people, send out your letter ASAP, and let you have a talk with all of these dignitaries and partners in the country, because they are watching. They are watching to see your strength. The man who want to lead Liberia, the man who will say it's different, the man who the people think that can transform the country. What can you do now? What can you do when you have these corrupt people coming at you to try to bring you down? Is it how you're going to lead Liberia, with soft hand, with weakness? No, you
Okay,
can't lead Liberia that way. So you must do it now. No more press conference, Mr. Cummings. No more press conference. Take an action now and do what you have to do as a leader. If you want to lead Liberia, if you want me, Almaz Kadiatu Jalo, to support you, you have to act now and put your foot down and let's go.
Okay, let's look at this this comment and analyze it. It says patience is not weakness, Paul. To fight a government and win, you need to plan. Planning takes time, but when it happens, you will be the very ones who will beg so that it stops. The groundwork is being done. It's coming. Be patient. Now, I think I've been almost like the poster here. What I'm saying is, for me, I don't know. I put myself in a situation because before I take action, like I said, I'll exhaust every possibility.
Yeah,
You
it's
see,
true.
I take
It's
my
true.
action under exhaustion of factors.
But
That
you
means
also
I've
look,
done everything that I wanted to do, and people, and when I begin to take action, people will see and say, "Oh yeah, he was right." And let me go back to Oli Serena's first speech today. The statement he made that
mhm,
this case, all bringing in the 34 witnesses, is intended to prolong the case. This statement had not come up before. So what if Mr. Cummings had just taken any action before? People will say, well, the man went to court. He didn't even wait for the how you call it, the case to be adjudicated. He didn't wait for the decision of the court. And we stay even if the Memorial Center Court, that's a lower court. If they take
mhm.
decisions, Mr. Cummings can still go to the Supreme Court. So there are still
Yeah.
avenues. There are still things that we can explore. But
Mhm.
you know, I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. Advantage. Like you see the man,
Advantage.
you think,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
can I
yeah.
can press this person down. And we
Yes.
see what that has done to the country. Like you were
Right.
citing the 1985 elections as an example. Okay, and what happened when Liberians had sufficient of what the government was doing? What happened? They took when the war was coming, you and I were not small. I mean, we were grown up
Hmm.
boys, okay? When the war was coming, people walked literally from Monrovia to go join the guys way in the bush because people were tired. And those are people who have been patient enough. Their patience ran out. You
Yeah.
see? So,
You know,
when Doe took over New Zealand, when the PRC took over New Zealand, they started killing people, they started killing themselves in the first place. They kill Western, they kill. So if the Liberian people had just gotten up and rushed, they would say, oh no, you're being patient. Why you're not patient? You're sort of weak. let's come to Wea. When Wea took over in the first 1 year, he started building house. What people say, oh wait, you're getting a government chance. Your way now, the media taking over your way. Then 1 year 5, he started building a condominium. Then in the second and third year, people started dying. Their own auditors. I mean, this is the first government I've seen in my lifetime where your own officials, key officials died and nothing happened. Okay? Then they say, oh man, the government knew your weight. You see? So if the Liberian people rise up now, like we all seen, if they rise up now, there's a reason. Because they can start several examples. Okay? So if Mr. Cummings have just come out right away from the beginning of this case, and people say, oh, why they make him wait? In fact, there's a sign of guilt. But right now, everybody can see the Solicitor General from his own mouth said what? The bringing in of those telephone witnesses and more to come is to delay the case. Now we know.
Look at that.
If Mr. Cummings
is so unprofessional, so ignorant.
So go ahead.
He's so unprofessional and ignorant.
Let me come in here. I'm one of the patient person in the world, but where you seeing something that it requires no more patience, this is where you are. You see the Jewish people, what made them so powerful in the world here? Get close to one Jewish person. You see how to be patient with you. In Liberia, you're dealing with a group of people that don't know the word patient. And that's the point I'm making. Now, popular sentiment is on your side. What I'm saying, you don't lay back and sit. This is where you tell the people, this is, look, I want people how to hear. This is where you tell the people, this is what's going on. And when you explaining what's going on, you refer them to what happened in the 80s. Remind them.
History.
That's all. You can't be sitting by somebody be conking your head every second and say, oh, let me be patient. Every person be conking my head. My patient will run after 2 times you knock my head. Then the next time when I come for you, it will no longer be. So this is, you want a seat. That man telling you, I'm bringing 17 witnesses. One witness took whole week. 17 witnesses, more Ali who can lie going to testify. You will drag it 2-3 weeks. You know what that means? They're telling you directly what they're going to do. So now
and you can be in court and try to get in any competition.
Exactly.
That's what it's trying to tell you.
You now start telling the public a bad patient for since January the thing been dragging. If they can't bring this thing to a halt, and actress said it right, this may have international connection. You use the international connection, you use the Liberian media, and tell the people that this have been dragging on. You didn't see that, yes, and even telling them they're dragging on, then you start telling people that man you brought in, he built the amount of houses. You link all the bad things and tell the people why they're against you, but you can't sit back and say, oh, and this is why some of the supporters are getting frustrated, and that is the silence of all this. You can't be patient.
People are saying like
weakness. This is a Liberian scenario, right? This is a Liberian scenario that we should always run to the international community. But let me Andre touched earlier on. The international community, they know what's going on, right? There is nothing hidden from those people. If you have been at the American embassy before, you know. I've been there before, and I don't want to disclose what I saw, but I can tell you, every street corner, people can dissect every street corner. They want to see you walking on Central Street, Denning, Galley Street. They know. They see everything. Okay? They know. But if, now I'm like coming to what you guys are saying. If you, the citizens, do not complain, the international community will not complain. Okay?
Thank you.
But again, before you complain, everybody's not the same. Before you complain, you have to make sure that you got sufficient ground. So if Mr. Cummings will get on the airwaves every day or calling the people, oh, you see, people die. People know that people die. The people just release crippling human rights report on the government. 1, 2, the people got certain people listed for sanctions. All these things are happening. They know. Okay, but again, the international community does not operate that way. Mr. Cummings is just opposition leader. So the people will not go behind one opposition leader, like that, and they will say, well, that's our country,
No,
let's go and do it.
it's not about going
No,
beyond
leave for you.
opposition leader. It's about
No,
protecting the peace of the country.
thank you.
Because
I
what
mean, you're on a different page right here. But the thing is, I just want to make sure that the things we're talking fall in line with how the international community operates. I mean,
No, leave for. Let me tell you something.
mm,
Equus citizen got killed in Liberia Civil War. They pay heavy price in that civil war.
mhm.
If you start reminding Equus what is happening could lead to serious situation in Liberia, Equus will call that man to bed.
Let me tell you one
gotta
thing.
make
Let me
you
tell you
gotta
one thing about
make
the
it.
ECOWAS that you do, probably you know, or you're not
Wait
paying
now,
attention to.
wait. You see,
Yeah.
give them the benefit of the doubt. When you call on them, say this happened, remind them about the 1980s. What happened in the 80s? I see history repeating itself. You're not putting any threat on the government, but you're just telling people the history. You said when something happened in Liberia, people know it's not true. I was in Liberia recently. Something happened in Douala. It takes 3 weeks for people to know that something happened in Douala. This is the so don't think people hear things. So you have to be on these people back constantly. What happened today?
Will
Not
you
everybody know.
allow me to tell you the weak, or not a weakness, but the how the very international community. I mean, but let's not even say, but our
I'm talking about
local international community, like what you call the ECOWAS. You know how they operate. These are gangs of leaders, all with the same motive to suppress their people, perpetuate their people into power. Okay? Now, when they coup took over in Guinea, what they said, for ECOWAS to delve into the cause of the coup in Guinea, they didn't do it. Why the coup took place in the first place? They didn't do it. What they did? They started to condemn your very president. Started to condemn the coup. Why? Because he doesn't want coup to take place against him. So
my
the
man, but
ECOWAS people,
you
they will
you
say that they
far.
look at,
You
they know
gone
what
far,
we are doing.
You gone far. You gone too far.
Mm,
Every Costa there organized June 7th. Equa got penny and it came in. Just let protest. So why you going all the way to Guinea and all that?
Yeah, but wait.
What did they come in?
What did they come in to do?
When
Yeah,
Yeka called about,
what did ECOWAS come in to do? ECOWAS came in to
to
rather
allow the
convince
interest
the
of the
protesters
people,
to bribe them, to make them to leave the protest. Because according to Costa, they were talking
you
to
see,
them, they were begging
and see
them.
what happened. And Andre here, the fact is that Equa got scared that this thing could cause more harm. They came in. So think on it carefully.
They
Yeka
came in
Koloba
to
on
warn
the Cold Road.
they came in to warn the government
Yes.
to listen to the plight of those
See?
protesting.
They
Because
didn't really warn the government. They were rather begging the protesters. No, let me tell you one thing. Because ECOWAS has the power. They will tell we are so no, listen, this government, stop what you're doing. But they will not do it. But they will rather come,
well,
oh, Mr. Cummings,
you think why did the government was pushed to the wall to give a 200,000 US as a bribe to Henry Costa, Delon, and Moali?
no,
Why
to
you
avoid
think that?
destruction.
It's because ECOWAS saw that the issue of that protest could bring a political unrest in the country, and
Thank you.
it could unseat Judge Weah.
Thank
That's
Okay.
you.
how the bribe
So
they
then
had.
why my argument is, why didn't ECOWAS tell the government, go and listen to the people, do what the people want? Except the ECOWAS did not do that. ECOWAS came. I agree, they came.
Yeah,
But what was the intention of
ECOWAS
coming?
told the
They
government
came.
They did,
to do
Lifo.
what was
They did.
necessary, but because of greed
They did.
of those same so-called and belly-driven advocate Henry Costa, Moali, and ADD,
You know,
they
I will tell you
they were
something.
the cause. They sold out
This little
because the
boy, they
government had the
call
money, so they used their money to bribe their way through to get their aim accomplished. If Mo Ali and Henry Costa and ADD has stood their ground and said, we don't need a dime from you people. What we want is what we want. The government was going to do it because ECOWAS had already warned them At the time, I was supporting the government. ECOWAS warned them and told them that you must listen to the plight of the people.
Yeah, but
If you
you
No,
don't
but
see,
let me
listen to
ask
them,
no, listen,
Auntie, I got question
listen.
for Linford. Say he being
Yeah,
the cool guy here.
mhm,
What is the bad thing on this that you speak to your nation every day on the badness of the government? What the badness in it?
no, there is absolutely nothing bad about it, nothing wrong about it. But I am
mhm,
saying that the way the way I will react to things is not the way Paul will react. You know,
mhm,
we have this general belief that the crew people are rough kind of people, wild kind of people. I had a crew friend who are very cool. Every day we used to beat the guy for nothing because we get your crew
sorry,
man.
Mercy, we
Grab
crew
grab the
now. We
guy,
get
cast him on
too
that big over.
bloody also.
And so we had our joke about crew people who say they get beamer when you grab them, they can beg you. But
Oh, wow.
you see, the way people would that, people would think that Mr. Cummings is slow. Yes, I agree. But I mean, he's a different kind of man, and I got temper. Okay, that's why I don't take the decision quick. But I think he was also looking for way to be able to have a case if he will do anything. You see, and Liberia, like you said, Paul, Liberia is a volatile state. Most of the people from all of the political parties, even non-politicians, we all
Mhm,
got scars of the war, some one way or the other. Our minds are damaged. So what if you just go and start to, tell your people, look, we can't accept this, we gotta move in. Unity Party, they feel they when they said that they were not gonna accept the thing. Well, other people are saying all around. What if the government has stood that ground? We might be having different situation. So I think Mr. Cummings look at all these things.
No, no,
And
but
again,
Linford, you're getting this thing wrong. What we're saying
mhm,
here is simple. You have to tell, you see, this is where they say about the popular sentiment towards your side.
mhm.
yeah.
There are a lot of people against him, and the government alone carry 12 radio stations. The Benana, you who talking to go get 2 radio stations. The Yomni Kaga get radio station. They will spew all sort of lies over there. You
Mhm,
the caring, then you the quiet one among them. They play onto you. So that's what I'm saying every day. I'm looking at the other way. Look at every day. You come from that cohort, and like you giving update to the people of what have happened. And what giving update to the people what have happened, and it wrong the government have done it because every day there's noise in Liberia for something that somebody in the government will do something crazy. You
mhm,
keep point on it every day. People will now start saying, wait a minute, but you cannot take 2 3 months and then come out and speak. Why are people using a platform to kill you? That's the point I'm making here. You see?
Okay, and your point is worth taking. Your point is worth taking. My only argument has been that Mr. Cummings thinks and does things differently from what we are used to, seeing. I mean, let's 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 think that it was Mr. Charles Taylor that you took to court for no reason, and he went there 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Then the ICOI, even some of the witnesses are refusing to come. The next time you will not go there. You're not good at it, you say you can't get me. So you see, people react to different, I mean, to things in different ways. But let's see. I'm sure I can 100% assure you. If it doesn't happen well, then I catch myself being wrong. But I can 100% assure you that Mr. Cummings, saying we all know, saying he knows now the intent of this whole thing, that is to keep him, away from campaigning
No,
and
but
delay
he,
his
he
time.
knew the intent from day one. The first day he appeared in court, he said the government have the in bear with ALP and these people to drag him to court. He said it from day one. So now he's seen the trend that is going. They thought it was going to finish in 2 days. But these guys, their intent here, this thing will drag on. And this
mhm,
thing dragging on, and you say, all right, I'm Mr. Cool. It's no Mr. Cool in Liberia. That's what I'm saying. Every day he needs to speak to the people. Even every week, instead of every day, every week he needs to speak to the people and update them. And going after this government, You need to be able to go after them. You cannot be quiet anymore. The opposition fighting you. They join with the government to fight you. Why I say the opposition can't fight the government are doing bad, but they're fighting you who is not the government? Does that make sense? He's not a government. The opposition fighting him, the government fighting him. When in Liberia, you hear the kind of thing. So he now need to talk to his people every day. This is why they're fighting me. And that's what I'm saying.
Guys, I keep telling you to be patient. All of these groups, ECOWAS, EU, and the US government, have already engaged this government about this case. Even the president of Ghana, Eru, and they are paying no mind. That means the government is paying no mind. All these people, according to this poster, okay. I can't see your name. I guess it probably is since Yasini or one of you, because I cannot see your name on the app. Mm-hmm. But it says all of these people are tired with this government. Take my word, people. Mr. Cummings is not slow. He is strategic. Be patient. It's coming. Well, you see, I mean, they still building our hopes. I tried to find this poster on the Facebook wall. I'm not getting it. But
that John Mauro.
Okay. Here, Mr. Mauro, I think he will be coming on pretty soon. I saw their ad here. They'll be hosting Councillor Theophilus Good. I say Councillor Theophilus Good, but I see one good, Councillor Good. But he's saying that we should be patient. I think he's almost saying the same thing that I'm saying. You see, we all can speed up, because if we all get into full gear, probably we'll collapse and nobody will be right. But I'm telling you, if Mr. Cummings takes any action right now, he will have more simple tasks. Why? Because at least it is clear, it is vividly clear. There is no more doubt. There is nothing more for anybody to doubt that this case has no merits. This case has no essence. This case is only intended to slow down Mr. Cummings. And this is a mistake that the other oppositions are making in bed with the government, because they know the more you do this thing to Mr. Cummings, knowing Liberian people, you get more sentiment. You see? Paul, you want to come in?
Yeah, my take here is simple. The fact is, what about he speaking to his people every week? What behind it? Talking to people. He talking to people every week. The president cannot talk to the nation. The people who cannot talk to. So in that case, let me put it the other way. I will now start acting that the president of the nation. What's about it? The president talk to us.
Listen.
So now you take the phone and seize opportunity.
Paul, let me stop you right there, Paul.
Oh,
again, let me remind you. Mr. Cummings gathered 250,000 votes. I mean, what was it, 125,000?
Over 100,000 votes. Over that. And the
number, I'm sure this I can pay. The number has gone up to around 250,000.
More than that.
So Mr. Cummings have this number of people. He can talk to them every week. It doesn't matter. They will listen. It doesn't matter. But what effect is it on the government? You see, because the instigator of everything here is the government. So how can you get under the government skin by talking? Because I gave you an example. People have demonstrated against this government. The Americans have accused this government of stealing. The Americans have issued human rights reports that are very damaging to the government. The Americans have placed some of these people on sanction. Still, the guys do not, listen. So
no, it's not what I'm heading. It's not what I'm heading. The president does not speak to the nation on nothing. He's silent. He can't get people to act on his behalf.
President.
Oh, so you want Mr. Commissioner
listen clearly. The opposition, the man who get the 400,000, he can't talk to nobody. Only when he party in trouble, then you can't get threat. So this is the vacuum that is there. Mr. Cummings, now my recommendation, he should start acting like the president of the land to get updates on the good, the bad, and start telling the people how the country will be run. Because the president can talk. So I will seize that opportunity And now I'm the new president in town by talking to the people. And when people start listening, they say, yeah, this man makes sense. Yeah, this man, because the president can't talk. He ain't bear with the opposition, why can't talk? So you now start being, this is the man come 2023, you're going to put in office. Seize the opportunity and talk. That's what I'm saying. That
Okay,
is
I mean,
not teaching.
I think you make sense. It makes sense, but the the main problem, the main issue on the ground here is how to get this case out of the court. One, and what what pressure can come to bear on the government to get this
Okay.
case out of the court. Because
Linford, let me come in.
yeah,
I want to address the comment that this user, because I'm not saying the person name who wrote
It's
this.
John, it's John
Mr.
Maulo.
John Maulo.
Okay. So now, this is it. Since Mr. Cummings have been engaging the EU, the ECOWAS, and the US Embassy behind closed door, and they in return have engaged this murderer and corrupt government, and they have turned deaf ears to their warning sign. So now it's time for Mr. Cummings to take this international on another level. You call a press conference and direct a statement to the international partners. Invite every international medias so that they can carry out your word. They can carry out to the world so that they can know that the international partners within Liberia had also intervened, and the government is playing deaf ears. This is a warning to the government of Liberia that what they are doing is unacceptable, that he's not going to accept it. There is no way he's going to allow the government to silence his voice or try to silence his right of taking part in an election, which is his right and the right of his party that he represents, his people that believe in him, and the Liberian people believe that he can make a good president. So you send the message out. Let international media carry out the message to the world. This
Let,
is a warning. The
let me get
message is going to be a warning, a warning.
let me get ask one question or Auntie.
Yeah.
Do you really think that the government is succeeding in stopping Mr. Cummings or slowing him down? I mean, when it comes
For
to
me,
quiet
for me,
activities, uh,
for me,
mm,
I think I
mm,
think that this ignoramus government
mm.
is succeeding in their plan of conspiracy. It might look stupid, it might sound stupid, but every day they are going forward according to their plan. And they are also the funniest part of it is that the masterminders behind this conspiracy is always coming out and telling you people what they are doing and how they intend to go about it. And you people just sit down and look at them without doing anything. They are telling you
But
every day.
even when the government itself or when the people who took a case against Mr. Cummings seem not to be gaining any ground. Uh, now, few things are going against them. They want the case to be televised. That was thrown out.
Mm,
Two, they want Mr. Cummings to produce evidence against himself.
mhm,
It didn't hold. Three, their own key people who supposed to be testifying, they are running
mhm,
away. Because let me tell you, like I told Paul earlier on, just before you came, I was somewhere in a conversation somewhere on Facebook where people were rejoicing. Now, yes, Mr. Cummings is going to be guilty. Because why? Joe Boakai is coming to testify against him. And some
mhm,
people who believe that Joe Boakai got a trump card for the
mhm.
entire case, that
Yeah.
when he turns it over, when
Mhm,
he unveils it, yes, judgment is passed today. And here's a man,
mhm.
he ran away today. He didn't go. Okay?
But because
Few
they
days ago.
know the Joe Baka, that Joe Baka is one of the poisonous people in Liberia. These are the people who got our country where it is. They are deceitful. we consider them as honorable people in the society, but they don't behave honorable. He knows what they are doing is wrong. If you call yourself a man of integrity who have worked with a clean record, will you participate in this kind of conspiracy, in this kind of act? No, you won't. As a statesman, as a man who consider himself to be well respected, who have done the right thing, what will you do? As JMB, you will come out and distance yourself from this kind of thing and try to end it by bringing yourself out of it and be honest to your people. But he's just showing every day that he is incapable.
That's
He is
the,
part
the,
of the
true- the
scene.
true definition of
He's part of the scene corrupt and
the true
conspiracy.
definition of desperation, and that's the only way. You see, this
Yeah,
woman,
yeah,
listen,
yeah,
the thing people do not understand about Joe Boakai is he has a school to settle with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Let me break this news to you. Maybe you will not
and
agree.
we can be in the middle of it. You
Yeah,
cannot settle
he
a
has a
score with
case to settle
someone
with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
yeah,
That he must make sure, he
and put
must make
millions
sure.
of people in their life in jeopardy because of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
own
but let me
selfish
just tell you. I mean,
interest.
in any case, we are saying it's like if Paul and myself are fighting, people who will come between us, they don't want to catch a blow. That's it. So
Yeah,
so
it
we
can
we the
happen with
ordinary
grass.
people,
Yeah,
we are the how you call it,
the
what the English
grass,
or the victims. Okay.
the
So now the
grass.
point I'm
When
trying to
two,
make here is that
mm,
Omen Boakai is desperate at all costs to become this thing called president.
yeah,
Okay. He's desperate at all costs because he want to set up school. At
with
least that one
Ellen.
day that he became president. Because Ellen told
Mm,
him that he will not be president while she's alive. So he want to prove her wrong. One, that yes, President Joe Numa Boakai. Two, he will make sure that he will set up school with Ellen. Other Ellen will face trial or for something. So those are the two things. So this woman will do anything. Like you say, he's a statesman, he's supposed to distance himself. He knows that. I mean, nobody needs to tell him. But the thing is, it becomes, it's like me, I will give up my pride. Here is Henry Costa, disgrace this woman, and no under normal circumstances,
yeah,
where this woman is in his right mind. He's not desperate. I'm not saying he's not, I mean, he's not in a right man. But what I'm saying, that he's not overtaken by desperation. That this old man is a normal, respectable old man that he respects himself. You look at his grandchildren, his children doing well, and other things. That somebody will kind of look at me and tell you, say, you are a dead man walking. I know he will not accept it. But here is
yeah.
the old man, somebody disgracing. He said, well, they want, I'll just swallow it. The usual liberty, why I would do now? I want to be president. So I'll yeah, agree, Henry.
Swallow it and
Trust me,
accept
say
it.
Henry, but just talk, just blow my whistle. And he has become the daddy grandfather of this boy. That the boy, look, everything that happens in the CPP, even now in the United Party, is all determined by Henry Costa. First, those of you who can really keep record. When the CPP was being formed, what Costa
Mhm.
said, you have a car to, I mean, you have a voice in it. That the CPP leaders, this was disgrace for me. From that one, I think I started following Power Costa from that time. That the CPP
Mm.
leaders will have to sign some agreement, memorandum of understanding with him, with
With
COP.
him.
Tell me,
Who are you, by
all
the
of them,
way,
including the
Henry
very
Costa?
Mr. Cummings, they all sat there. Nobody kick
Where
against this.
your small pen.
Yeah, everybody sat there and they agreed to it. They didn't whether they agreed to it or not, but nobody kicked against it. So he felt that he was a voice. Now he the one will
He's
tell
no
them.
voice.
He
He's
the one
no
will say
voice. Or Bella
no.
Jordan.
I mean black voting. He the one will say no primary, and he the one will say
Mhm.
the United Party should withdraw, and everything he said happened. You see, so this old man has sold himself already to Costa. Number one, he accepted the disgrace out of desperation, and now
Mhm.
he's in the pocket of Costa. Anything that Costa says, and I will tell you the biggest disappointment that will ever come to Joe Boakai, the day Costa withdraw from him. I don't want to
You
say what will
know,
happen.
you know,
Yeah.
guys, I wouldn't waste my breath
No, I know.
on.
I mean, it's not
Wait,
worth
listen
mentioning.
now,
Actually,
listen.
Paul, I agree with you.
I
But
wouldn't waste my
we just
breath
trying to
on
lay
that
the
old man.
premise.
I come back to what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I come back to the one I support.
Mhm.
And the reason why I'm saying this, every Friday, every day, or once a week, yeah, he come to the people I've seen this strategically. Yeah, he come to the people and talk to the people. This government, the government are afraid of him so much. Talk to the people that these are the reason why the government afraid of me. On a man-led government, you will not have X, Y, Z, and lay out your platform every day. Talk to your people because the forces that are fighting him is not one. You never heard of that in any country where you get opposition supposed to be looking at the ills of the government, but the fighting or opposition.
Yeah.
So put the two together, the opposition and the government, put them together, package them in one place, and you speak to your people directly.
They had a package and
what
Henry Costa in a cartoon.
and why they're fighting you in court. That's the point I'm making here. And the
Okay,
point
Paul.
I'm making when you keep silent, and when I say no time, in politics, there is no silence, there is no time. Every day you leave the court, you talk to your people, whether that's 10 minutes, and say, hey, press ask you 2-3 questions you need. This is my plan for Liberia. This is why they're fighting me. Keep singing a song. And that's the point I'm making.
Okay,
I just
Paul.
want ANC. Yeah, that's
Paul,
the point.
Paul, I'll bring. I think this is the same as Somalia, but let me bring the one. They want sound funny a little bit. I told you it's coming. Have you ever seen any president from anywhere to come to visit this government? The Cummings mantra is to teach and show the Liberian people a new way of doing things. I assure you, he who laughs last best. Now, but listen. Paul, no, wait. Paul, I know. Paul, wait. My man, hold your peace. Paul, hold your peace. Let me count it. You know, you and I, we grew up in Liberia. We are Liberians. We've been following, we are not being politicians, but we follow Liberian politics. Who decides who becomes president? I don't want to go far, but you know that before I become president, you myself run, even if you win. But there is somebody that say I must be, and that person can do anything at any time, any moment when they deem it necessary. My brother, let's hold our peace. You see, sometimes when we talk too much, they say the child who can talk too much, he can mispronounce words. So let us not talk too much. There are things that will happen that you don't know. You see, Mr. Cummings could fight his own battle. I mean, he can fight his own battle.
Amen.
We all are fighting the battle. But you
so
don't know.
they battle the fighting. I left what the brother wrote. But my saying here is, what's wrong with you selling your platform every week? What's wrong with it?
Nothing
wrong with it.
Nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Again,
So Princess got killed. How long ago? We have now heard, no, Mr. Cummings wrote a long thing on Facebook. The time that effort that he took to write that thing, that just 3 minutes summary of putting the government in their place right there. I gave example. That was it every day, every week. When you start speaking to, because
I mean, we just going in a circle. We just say we just going in a circle.
So I'm making my point, and you asked earlier, and that's why I'm sticking to my gun.
Yeah.
Every day
the point here is Mr. Cummings can be on the air every week. Does that make any difference? This is a government that does not. The people don't listen. Paul.
No. It's not a government. It's the people that are going to vote for you that you making report to every day. All right.
And the things that are happening,
all
the things you're talking about are happening. Who are happening to? They're happening to the same people. People don't know.
Linford?
Yeah.
I gave you a scenario just 2 days ago. I spoke to somebody in Liberia. This people who don't even have 10 cents to buy bread say, oh, George, we are doing well because he built a park. I think we'll keep him there. USA ain't good to talk to people. Why is it that?
How did the people know that George we are built a park?
This what come to my point. George, we are run 12 radio stations over there. Yomi Kaka got her radio station. Benana Ure and his daughter get radio station. The Henry Costa and this group they get. So why your own radio station is not there? You take 2 months to talk. the other people preaching their language. And this is the point I say, this is the time you take the opportunity once a week and talk to the people. Somebody will hear you. Somebody will go to the other people on our radio station, they line. But if you say you're cool and you think the message will get out there, then it's the wrong game. And that's what I'm saying. Report to the people every week. That's it.
I've just been playing the devil's advocate. I've just been playing the devil's advocate. Everything you see, all of what we are saying is all in place. But the thing is, again, let's remember that Mr. Cummings finds himself in a very sensitive situation where he's done nothing and he's been prosecuted. So what more if he does anything or? But I think Mr. Cummings, like Mr. Marvel said, he has his own strategy. He's a strategist. So I think Mr. Cummings knows what he's doing, because I mean, take for example, Paul, if you're running for even a community organization, you must have strategies in place in case you win. So I don't think Mr. Cummings is just going into this thing for the name that he wants to be. He got strategies that if this happens, what can I do? Plan A, plan B, C, D, So let's wait and see. I believe, and trust me, just what I'm telling you, take this one for my word. This
how
is
many
what I'm
months we
telling
got
you.
left?
We'll soon
He
finish.
need to do that quick.
How many months we got left?
You need to do that quick before his opponent dismantle him.
Yeah, I'm sure. At least one or two people here close to Mr. Cummings, they can relay the message through somebody too, and it will get to him. I mean, and the good thing about it is we got 3 more months, May, June, July, to be with Mr. Cummings face to face like this, and so probably that would be one of the best time we can make our recommendation. So let's move on to our last talking point tonight, which is not really. I mean, which we wouldn't make any dwell on so much because we do not have control over that. But that's the government hired these pathologists who performed the autopsy on the Princess Cooper, say that she died of tuberculosis. But meanwhile, the family members disagree and they want a second autopsy. And that's where the real truth must surface. Okay? So, just before I go to it, let me read the last comment here. You are saying that, Paul, that press is expensive. Do you know that every press conference costs ANC? And then nothing in politics is I'm not sure. I don't think it's the money. Nothing in politics is what cheap unless you got your own mechanism. And I will tell you one thing. One era where Cllr had power over his opponents, that even people who were affected directly by his war turned towards him was he respected the media, he invested in the media. I work in that system. I know with all the hard time across the land, how we were treated, we as media personnel. If any of the students even pointed finger, I was saying I suffer a lot. The guys beat me many times because me, I don't take nonsense. So he invested in the media. So in order for you to, the thing we're sitting talking here, we can destroy the whole country in 1 minute with our forces just sitting here. Yeah. We can destroy the whole country in 1 minute. Okay? So the media is powerful. The media is powerful. I remember I was supposed to talk to Chancellor face to face, and he probably got here and start me and say, wait. He said, leave Linford. You get gone. You dangerous to me more than Linford. He get gone, but his voice can go as far as where your gun cannot reach. See? So that is to tell you how powerful the media is. You don't see us sitting here and you're talking. We can make things Cllr right away. If you don't know, I've been in that team for around 40 years. But what I'm trying to say here is that's not the point. But what I'm trying to say here is that the media may be expensive. But in order to be in a position where Mr. Cummings is running to be president, he got to make use of the media. Like Paul is saying, you think Cllr, the guys are working for Cllr, they don't put money in Cllr package in as much as Cllr lost money. But he invested in them because he knows what he can get out of them.
Yeah.
Okay, the media is very powerful. So I think once in a while, this time I will side with
Well,
Paul. It's good
let me
that Mr.
let me
Cummings and
answer
the
that.
ANC.
Let me add.
Mhm,
After the court case today, right?
mhm.
The people who surrounded Mr. Cummings to talk, were they paid? And they just want to hear from him
Yeah.
Yeah.
right after that case. So that
Mhm.
5 minutes, that 2 minutes, you nailed it. You have
Send your
spoken.
message across.
You said
Period.
it. You don't, because every time you appear, people come, oh, Mr. Cummings, how was the case today? You take 5 minutes, you sort on the government, then you lay it there. This is what I will do when I take office. You don't, you gone.
and you know, and you know, they put them. I think that Mr. Mauro said. He said, press people are being threatened from coming to ANC News. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Mr. Poster, we are in our team. We scared. Our team, our daily job. Every day they got threatening. Oh, you behind the president of. You don't understand. We were behind church. I press people, radio station people, but what? Guess what? He probably got threatening us. I mean, and I say, I remember. But I mean, this is not important anyway on the show. But I will tell you that the press, we in that team, it's just like the soil man. The soil man know you die. So when you move from here, you go train, you join the soil, anytime walk and break out, you die. So when we there, we know. They threaten us every day, we know. But we still know how to do our job. They scoop Mr. Cummings this afternoon. By the time they were waiting to the gate, to the door, the moment he was out, they ran to him and they scooped him. That information the guy was important. You see it? So who will go try and say why you told him Mr. Cummings? Yeah, one person will say that, but it doesn't matter. So we know it. We can't be scary. What I'm saying here is the ANC, Mr. Cummings, they got to invest in the media, or else they will not get a full outcome of what they want. The media is expensive, I agree. Okay, especially in a country like Liberia, where we used to leave our houses, we walk in. Literally, you got to ask for a lift. When you get in town, you go to talk to one minister. You say, Mr. Minister, at least I got to go home. So we got a cattle, something called cattle, which is just for us, a gratuity. I talked to Paul. Paul know that I living way peacefully. Then Paul working he offer on Broad Street. How I got to Broad Street? How we eat? So Paul will look up. Paul will see reason and say, but man, I know. Well, you say, yes, Martin. That one, that understanding between I'm not encouraging it. It's not professional. But in a country like Liberia, here our journalists. Okay, I've been working with one guy, one guy for a few hours. We went places. We finished talking. I came from Liberia that time. We finished talking. I thought something was happening. The guy, we start packing our TV camera. The guy giving me a camera, hanging on my shoulder, looking behind me. the guy that the man help you in a pie get in the car. But I can't ask him because I want to show professionalism too. But what I'm trying to say is that the press is expensive, one, and two, invest in the press and you will get a full outcome of what you want. You see, because you cannot talk for yourself. So the ANC and Mr. Cummings will have to know that it costs a lot, but you don't have to do it every day. That one time you seize the opportunity to call your press conference, you can do what you can put up all of what you want to say within that one time. So we will be wrapping up soon. Let's talk about this Princess Cooper thing. Um, I mean, how I don't know whether any of us have seen a TB patient before. No, because if you look at this girl picture, I don't know her, but the picture that I see, I've not seen any other picture of her that looks very bad, like a sick person. I mean, this is somebody who was catering. I mean, since she died, her family or close relatives or friends have not shown any sign that they did themselves as sick. Or one,
Mhm.
two, nobody got any medical report about her that she's been going. I don't know whether the pathologist got any medical report from any hospital, because TB when I catch you today, I kill you today. No, maybe that Corona TB. I don't know. But even the Corona, yeah, Corona start were catching people. They will catch the hospital. It takes time before he die. So what kind of TB will grab a girl around his part and then she die? So I don't know.
Liberia is just a sad country,
Yeah,
and,
Paul.
and, and
So I don't know.
it's sad. It's sad and evil. It's
Mhm.
sad, and this is not. We just laughing, but it's so sad and
I'm not.
heartbreaking.
No, it's sad.
After they have brutally murdered this innocent girl, and now they are disrespecting her, even though she's dead. they are still disrespecting her. This is a total disrespect to the innocent young lady who was very, very much productive, hardworking. You killed her, murder her in cold blood, and then you try to disrespect her even in death. This is sad. It is so sad. Liberia is a messy and heartless country. You call yourself a Christian country. You call yourself a Christian oriented built country. Is this how you treat your people? Is this how you treat your women? Is this how you treat your girls' children? You murder them before they even reach the age of 30, and then you disrespect them. You either call them a prostitute or this or that after you murder them in cold blood. The women of Liberia need to rise up. The women of Liberia need to stand up for themselves and for their children, for God's sake. Stop allowing your children being murdered every day before your very eyes while you watch them doing nothing because of fear. Stop being a coward. It pays nothing to be a coward. If you think that you are not being affected, it's going to come knocking your door sooner or later. Because if they can do it to any other woman, they can do it to any other murder, they can do it to you, and they can do it to your own children. This is so sad. It's so
Okay,
sad and heartbreaking. So I would just recommend to the family that this is now they need to take hold of the opportunity. Do not trust any Liberian pathologists because they are just all rubbish and nonsense people with no integrity. Don't trust no Liberian. I'm sorry to say, if people might think that I'm being unpatriotic, but this is the level that I have reached. If we cannot look out for one another, if we cannot stand up for ourselves, if we cannot protect ourselves, we allow foreigners to come in the country, abuse our sisters, abuse our children, and we cannot stand up. We cannot be fair enough to ourselves. We only care about survival and money. You don't care that your sister is being murdered in cold blood by a foreigner. You don't care that you need to that you swear under oath to protect life and property, to say the truth no matter what. You don't care. So it's time that the families should reach out to the US Embassy and appeal to them and cry to them and ask them to come in and help you with a pathology, international pathology that will examine that body and tell you people and look in the face of George Weah and his murderer government and tell them that, yes, this is what you do. This girl did not die from any TB or any natural cause, but she was murdered. What kind of instrument that you people use inside that girl that you cut something from in her? You people cut something from in her because you people are human traffickers. You kill innocent. Now you people. Now,
let's hear
no,
from
no, no,
Paul.
no, leave for. Now they have the government. No one is monitoring them anymore. So this is why they are doing broad day killing and taking the parts of our children and sending it out.
Yeah,
This
but
is
if a new
unacceptable.
pathologist come, the pathologist will know if there was anything missing from the body. But as of now, we cannot
Yeah,
confirm that. Nobody knows
inside
for
the
sure.
body of her.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
yeah, I
Definitely,
mean,
because
the pathologist, the same way the
in
new
government,
pathologist will come to establish
you have
as to whether there was any
a
foul play.
minister, you have a minister of health who is a human trafficker. You have a minister of
Well,
health who is a human
the
trafficker,
thing is,
a vice president that is also involved in human trafficking. This is why since they came into power, they have been one killing to another, people are getting missing. Somebody just died and their parts were taken from them. Can't you see how many more than 3%? A
but
woman
the
who
thing
was
is,
crying out for
Uncle
her
Will,
husband. Her
Mm-hmm.
husband went to a church. Her husband went to a church in Grand Bassa to seek the intervention of God, because he don't have job to sustain his family. He was kidnapped, and when they found him, his part was missing from him. Another incident again just happened 2 days ago. Another person was found with body parts missing from them. Princess was also murdered. How can you say someone suffer from TB when they were murdered in that way? Their blood, you see cotton bud and tissue everywhere. What did they do to this girl? What kind of surgery did they carry out within that girl that they took something from in her, took a
Yeah,
part
but
from in
Andre,
her?
like I said, we cannot confirm that and we cannot speak to that because we are not.
Me, I will speak to that because I was
Yeah,
a
but
medical student.
listen, Andre.
I was
We
in the
yeah,
area of biology.
we
There's
also
an
yeah. I
opening.
agree. I
The
agree.
only part you cannot see according to their own investigation. According to their own investigation, Linford, they said there is no bodily harm on that girl. But then how did she come out with such a huge sum of blood from her nose, pulling out from her nose, from her mouth, and everywhere? How did she come out with that if it's not through an opening? And where can that be an opening? Within her vagina. There where they did that sort, they did that thing. These people are evil. These people are
Yeah, but like I
bloodthirsty.
said again, Andre, I think the body was inspected. I don't want us to go to that to those kind of things because I think the body was inspected by the family and they didn't see so far. We have not heard about any cut being on her. What people are suspecting is that she either took some substance or she was injected with some substance. Because for somebody to begin to form a blood, I think there must be something wrong.
That's why I'm asking that
Yeah, but we cannot establish the fact or we
the
cannot
family can
establish any
ask
fact that
can ask
operation,
an
I
Can I
mean,
say
independent.
back
something
from
here,
her.
please? Let me come in. I
Mhm,
mean, the thing here is simple. You ready? Say the family was not happy. The government is now asking the family to bring in their own private
mhm.
pathology, and the government will pay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to happen. It has been established that they will pay. They will sponsor it, so the
Yeah.
family can now bring in somebody
Mhm.
to
Mm-hmm.
clear the doubt. But
Yeah.
my take here is about where the government came. The day she was found, the government said there was no foul play.
No properly.
Then second came, oh, she died from TB.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had TB. We used to go to TB honest to visit them.
Mm-hmm.
TB don't just grab you today and kill you.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So that person might that every day you be coughing every day and your body will deteriorate. You start getting
Yeah.
slimmer
Very
Mm-hmm.
good.
and you don't have the energy to move about. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. Is that a new kind of Ebola TB that when it grab
Yeah,
you,
that what
you
I
get
was
and then
thinking.
you
Maybe
get kill yourself?
Corona TB. Even
Yeah. Oh,
the
see,
corona that killed thousands of people in
Oh.
Europe every day, thousands every day. People were not. It didn't just grab you die the same day. You will get sick. They take you to the hospital.
exactly.
You see. So
Even the
for them to say it was
Ebola,
TB,
when you touch Ebola person, they will not die right away. They will
no,
get sick. It takes time before. So I don't know how they did that, but the whole thing is, but the day that girl was found, the place she was found dead. That day, the police should have sealed that place to do a special police investigation and find out
right.
how her body got there.
Yes.
Nothing like that happened. The
Nothing.
next year said there was no foul play. The
Oh, because
next year
they know
she
what they
died from
did.
TB.
They know what they did. They are the
But
sin killers.
can
They
you
are the sin
imagine
killers.
that, according to information, there is a Lebanese guy who was being investigated by the police, and the same because the police is the government though, and the same government comes out and say that the people, I mean, the girl died from TV. So then why you holding the Lebanese guy for?
Yeah.
So the Lebanese guy get
Because
Well,
TV.
they want to test the public now.
But anyway,
So once
all we
the
can hope
public
for though,
accept that
this is
false
dangerous to
result,
the entire
then
country.
they let him
It's
go.
it's Princess Couple today. Yesterday it was Gifted Lama. It was my very close childhood friend Batten Yeswa. It was Famboya. All the people. Now it's Princess today. Who knows? And if just I think yesterday or no Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Sunday, there was a young boy, 21-year-old boy, whose body was from some community,
Yeah.
and he said he left in the water. And I came across that video yesterday, and the family I said no.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's like rampant in Liberia now. So all we can think and pray is that we hope that this thing will subside, because most of the people let people, let's say that government or whatever, but even if it is government, some of these people that are dying, they voted for the government.
Yeah.
So when the evil man ready to do something, the evil man will not ask you who you voted for or who are you for, who you in favor for. They'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just pray that these kind of things will stop, and let a good government come in that will take control of the, because it all boils down to security. That the president
Yeah.
of the nation will come to the public and say you should buy your own CCTV.
CCTV.
This is
Yeah.
scary. It means I don't
Mm-hmm.
have anything to do with your security. You are
Yeah.
your own
You must
security.
protect yourself.
So
How can you then if you can tell your citizens to protect themselves, then there's no need of you being a president.
yeah, so all we can
No,
tell the
that's
Liberian people is that time to vote, they should vote wisely, they should know who to vote for, so that we
yes.
have the thing we call security and all
Mm-hmm.
these things. And Paul, I think we need to come back to you again. Do you want to throw light on this? I will not get tired with this Germany um, uh, program, because I think it's an opportunity for us and for people who have not heard from Mr. Cummings, for them to know what he stands for. So we want to throw light on it.
Yeah, thank you, Len, for I I just want to encourage people on the 8th and 9th of July during the summer, all roads lead to hand over Germany. Uh, the ANC Europe will be hosting a fundraiser, meet and greet, and people will meet. Mr. Cummings will be there in our mix. People will ask him to come and meet him, have their question. They have seen his photo, they have heard his voice on the radio, but to interact with him, the kind of person he is. This will be the opportunity for Liberians in Europe to take their summer break and head down to Hanover. So if you're in Holland, it's a driving distance, Belgium is a driving distance, Norway, you coming from that end, Liverpool will be driving as well. People coming from other part of Europe will be there. So that's a people from the UK will be over there, Ireland. So all over, they're going to assemble in Germany during this two break. There'll be a tournament, a football match. Mr. Cummings will be playing. The All Stars, ANC All Star will be playing the Liberian All Stars in Germany. So there'll be outdoor and indoor events. So we ask people to show up in Europe, and a lot of people will be coming from the US as well, be attending this program. It's time to Liberia deserve better. Let them listen to this guy who the government is fighting, who the opposition is fighting, wherever this man that they keep fighting. So this is the opportunity that we will have to listen to this guy that's scaring the government, that scare the opposition, that scare everyone on what while they're afraid of him. It's the best time, the opportunity to speak to him and ask him questions. So it'd be good to see people in Germany.
Okay. Just to add to that, at bottom line, Liberia, both this platform and the online radio, be reminded again that we have an online radio, and as we are doing this program right now, it's going direct on the online radio. So the bottom line will be there with Mr. Cummings, and he will be face to face with us, and so you can also hear from him if for some reason you are disabled to come to the program in Germany. But we would rather encourage you to come and be there face to face, because uh being face to face is actually different from, I mean, I'm looking at Paul and I talking. When I say Paul, you can hear me say yeah right away. But it's a bit different when we are together. How we'll be laughing, or man, you shake my hand, our like grunting, and you give me five, I give you five, and we rubbing shoulder and things. So we encourage all of you who will be having break at that time, or even if you are busy, it's a weekend, so you can come and spend that weekend. And better still, if you're having your holiday, and thank God it falls within my holiday, so I might be there maybe one day before, and let me get settled. Let it just settle before before Mr. Cummings can come, because we'll be there. So thanks a lot, Paul, and thanks to Antrick. And Antrick, we hope you're going to be here on Friday. And like Paul said it last time, we'll be trying to get a program committee, planning committee for this entire program to be with us one day on the show, and they're going to tell us how far they're gone and what they're doing and what we expect, or people that are coming should expect from the program. And so for our viewers, we want to say thank you so much for being with us. And Antrick, we hope
Yeah.
coming Friday, you'll be here and fix your light before you come. You come without light,
I don't know
come
what
without
really
light.
happening, yo. I
So I
really
know,
don't
I know you can fix it.
know.
We discuss that. But it was good to have you guys. And this is how we like to
Thanks
wrap it
for
up
the show.
this evening. Thanks a lot. And we hope to be back here on Friday.